Hi there, my name is Danny Henderson. Welcome back to my beautiful channel. We are only 10 days away from the greatest event in disclosure. Actually, less than 10 days. It's actually 9 days, I think. The greatest event in disclosure on our planet is the Galactic and Spiritual Informers Connection. And there are hundreds and hundreds of you coming, flying from all over the world. And we can't wait to meet you. And there's also hundreds of you now also joining us on the live stream. We are live streaming. Now, part of you who are coming in physical form to the event at the Doubletree Hilton Orlando Hotel, which is the one near the Universal Studios entrance, well, that's like 2 miles away, but America is so big. That's what they say. galacticspiritualinformers.com is our website, of course. Everything is there. So we are cutting off the date where you can buy your dinner and your disco ticket for the Saturday night. Obviously, we have to give numbers to the hotel and they obviously cater for that. So you can't jump in a day before because the tickets are not available. So please, if you are going to join the disco and the dinner, which is a separate ticket on the Saturday evening, then you need to get on and do that now. Now, on the Friday night, we have a really, really special event and a really special person. And the Friday night event we have is included in your singular ticket, your main ticket. And that event is Nikki Alan. Hello, Nikki.
Oh, I can't tell you how excited I am. You're supposed to be kind of like professional, go, yes, I'm used to coming to events. Yes, I can, yes, it's going to be absolutely, oh my God, I can't wait. It's going to be a celebration of the greatest minds and souls that inhabit the planet at this current time. And it is just going to be explosive. I am so honoured to have been asked to come and do the first opening of the first evening. It's just going to be incredible. And the thing is, I feel like just me talking about my little bit of what's outside the world is like nothing compared to the people that are bringing everything else that is even further away from the planet. Oh, it's just so, I'm just going to just ramble. I'm going to ramble and nobody's going to know what the hell I'm talking about. If they suddenly just press play and start watching, I'm like, what is she on? What is she talking about? I'm talking about one of the best conferences that's out there and I cannot wait to be a part of it. So thank you. I'm going to shut up now.
Perfect, Mara. It's lovely to see your joy. Truly, it's lovely to see your joy. And we're so honored to have you. People are so excited to see you. And what a lot of people don't know, who may be coming for the very first time and may have seen you for the very first time on the list of beautiful speakers that we have, they may not know that you, Nikki Alan, are one of Great Britain's long-term most well-known and beloved and trusted psychic clairvoyant mediums. Would you like to tell us a bit about how you got into that?
Absolutely. And do you know what? Someone has said these exact words. How did you get into it? Just recently when I was doing a podcast, I didn't have a choice. Just to let you all know, I was born into it from generations of mediums before me. So it's in my bloodline. And it was a very strong bloodline because it kind of went to the seventh son of each generation. And then I broke it. Well, no, I didn't break it. My auntie broke it because it was my granddad who was the last seventh son line. And then suddenly it just went to everybody in the family. And so I've been seeing heaven since I was 4 years old. I would stand or I'd sometimes dream or even just stand at the bottom of the stairs like a loony child. My mum must have thought, oh my God. But she knew anyway, they were totally open to it. They knew because of everything that went on in our family. And I just stand there staring up and there was this huge doorway and it just ebbed and flowed with this white sparkling energy. And I just knew that there was another dimension there. I knew there was another consciousness there. And I thought everybody could see it. That was the thing. So I never really made a big thing of it. I used to be able to fly everywhere and visit people's homes and then tell my mum where I'd been. And it literally was just that. I could see things, I had prophetic dreams. But again, I just thought everybody could do it. And it wasn't until my dad turned up 2 days after he died in a road crash and said, hey, Nikki, I'm okay, I'm fine. my granddad, when I ran back to the house, you can imagine everybody's grieving. And my dad's side of the family were more open. They were more strong mediums, healers, psychics. And he said, Nikki, your time has come. You are now going to be open to seeing people that have passed over. You may see angels, you may see aliens, you may see all sorts of things that are not of this realm. And he said, but that's okay, because you're part of our family, you're part of the bloodline. And so that's how it happened, really. It just literally, I'm a natural born, I suppose that's what they call them, isn't it? Natural born psychic medium. So to me, walking in the realms of the spirit world, the angel realms, going up to the Crystal Palace, sitting with the seraphim, the oldest hierarchy of angels, and just hanging around heaven, or the reality layer, as I call it, it's so natural. It's more natural to me than breathing. I literally walk one step in that world and another step in this world. And the thing is that what I've found to acknowledge, which I'm now pushing in my daily teachings and videos and books, is everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. They think that mediums are just special people that can do it. Yes, we are more awake than others, but you can awaken your energy. There is a certain part of your brain, the pineal gland, that can literally open up your third eye and connect you to another dimension. And so that's what my path is now, is to show people how to get to that dimension. And without giving any spoilers, this is going to be the biggest mass of consciousness shifting to another dimension that I'll be doing as part of my contribution on Friday evening. It's going to be colossal, and I'm going to have to warn them up there and say, hey, I'm just going to be bringing up absolutely loads of souls, just to let you know. And it'll all be guided by archangels, and it's just going to be incredible. I've done it on a very small scale before, and it was one of the most emotional and most powerful things I've ever done. However, to then bring a whole mass group of souls up to this consciousness is just going to be groundbreaking, and I can't wait to do it. Cannot wait to do it. So initially I thought my life on this earth, because I was a cop, and I thought that was going to be my career, but it turned out it wasn't. I got retired. And the short story is that I ended up working full-time as a psychic medium. And I thought I was put on this earth plane to just prove the afterlife, but it's gone way beyond that now. Following a road accident, people will know these books here, just get them, and these are all the spoilers from the books, that I'm now trying to show people that there are dimensions they can reconnect with. They can reconnect with source to make the human experience easier. Because, you know, everybody's like, oh God, I need a reading. I'm like, well, no, you don't. You need to wake yourself up, and you can do it yourself. So my dad predicted this. He came and visited me physically from the spirit world in, I think it was 2014. And he basically said, your world is going to change completely, and you're going to teach, and you're going to be working on a completely different level from what you've ever known. And I thought, well, no, because I just want to prove the afterlife. And he was right. And so now I get, oh my goodness, I get emails and messages from people that are waking up, and they just are so amazed by the synchronicity or the visualizations they get, or the fact that they'll see or feel something and it manifests, or they suddenly see their first angel. And to see it, I feel like an old lady of 100 years, like birthing all of these people who are waking up, going, yeah, welcome to my world. It's just fabulous. It's an amazing time at the moment to do it as well.
It really is.
You know, with this.
Yeah, you're so special, and you know, like a real earth angel, and we're going to come into like what that actually means. But I want to say to people also that, you know, there are all these markers laid down on our life path, and things happen. Nobody's ever got away from violence, trauma, heartache, heartbreak, illness. It's all either been in us or around us. We've never been able to not see these things. And the word psychic, which those with religious programming who are hardcore wired to steer away from that word because it's supposed to mean something, apparently. Well, it comes from the Greek. The word psychic is the root word translation for soul. And we all have a soul. So how on earth could the word psychic It's only what people who've tried to control with all the different religious systems that lie and take away the beauty, because the beauty empowers us, the individual. Now,
Absolutely right.
let's talk a little bit about your career before you allowed yourself to fully flower and blossom into the beautiful earth angel that you are. There was already elements of you waking up, but you were a policewoman in hardcore England. Please give us an insight and share the story about the boy that you saw and you knew he'd done it. He'd done it, Vicar, he'd done it.
He'd done it. You sounded so eloquent, and then suddenly like turned into my mode. He done it. He did it, that geezer. It was very difficult. Well, it wasn't to begin with. I just was talking about this. I can't remember who I was talking to about this, and just like swinging the old lamp. I was obsessed with wanting to be a police officer, to the extent I used to run my brother and sister as detectives and send them out on inquiries at who murdered Barbie. Was it Ken? Was it Teddy? Was it Jemima? And I literally had all of the, like, you know, the suspects banged up. Jemima, she was dodgy. I'm telling you, it was definitely her. No matter what happened, it was definitely her. And I used to literally interview my dolls and then send them out to do inquiries. I was obsessed with being a police officer. And I feel that part of that was, and this is absolutely mind-blowing, because when I literally was a police cadet as soon as I left school. I just wanted to be a major investigation detective. And I ended up looking up to murder family victims and a rape liaison officer, right? And I remember when I first met one of my three main guides, Calm, and he's from Arizona, and I've still yet to go to that home. I've been to the others, but I haven't been to Arizona yet. Navajo Indian. And he said to me, I said, I don't get it though. Why have I been a police officer and a detective, and then suddenly you now want me to be a full-time, you know, medium? You know, there's a little spoiler that I had a road accident and it all ended. But so I said, I don't get it. He goes, how can you not get it? He said, what have I shown you in your previous life, Ankala, which means daughter, which I had no clue. I thought it was my name. I was telling everybody for ages, yeah, I'm called Ankala. And then this Native American goes, no, that's actually a term for daughter. I'm like, oh, okay then. But it made it even more real, because he was my dad in this life, in this incarnation, Khan was. And he said, why do you think you look after rape victims and murder victim families? And he said, look at your previous life with me. I went, oh my God, because the first time I connected with Calm was at the Arthur Findlay College, which I call Hogwarts, the psychic study college in Stansted in Essex, right? And I met him during that time, totally randomly. He came with a wolf, our spirit totem. And he showed me that I was bound by my ankles and my wrists, and I've got really severe problems with my ankles and my wrists. I broke both my wrists on duty as a police officer on ice. That's another story, right? And I was raped and murdered by the white man that were taking the land off of the Native Americans. And so he said, so what you're doing is just the natural cause of karmic cycles has now come into play for this lifetime. So part of your lifetime was to honour the fact that you were raped and murdered by the white man taking our land. And I'm like, oh my God. So is that why I've got really weak wrists? I can't push myself up on my wrists and my ankles are horrific. He goes, that's exactly why. You're honouring that part, but you're also an ambassador. So he said, so you literally have to do that now. So I'm like, okay. But in between, I was obviously psychic as a psychic being. And it was really difficult, because if I'd walk into a murder victim, you know, family, and I'm like being all professional, and the murder victim down there going, hi. And I'm like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? They're standing there, I'm like, oh shit, I can't say anything. But they're standing there, and I'm trying to say, I'm very sorry for what's happened. Have you got any questions? Because you facilitate, you know, the murder inquiry team, all the information to the family. And you've got a murder victim family standing there. And the worst thing, back in the day, right, they didn't have fingerprint suites or anything like that back in the 80s and the 90s. you processed your own criminal, your own suspect. So you had to get close to them. And I'm like, oh my God, because as soon as I got close to anyone, I would start getting information. I knew straight away before I went into an interview whether they'd done it or not, but then you'd have to prove it for a court of law.
Right.
So I couldn't say, oh yeah, he did do it because why? Because I'm psychic and I know. That's not what happened. So right, he was a regular horrible criminal, and he was always burgling houses. He had no empathy whatsoever, a real evil soul. And I was doing his fingerprints, and I kind of started seeing visions of this lounge area, and I saw this big TV and this like wooden casing, and in those days a VCR. Yeah, an old tape recorder. Young people have been, what else are you talking about? And there was a PlayStation thing, like a games console. And I said to him, hang on a minute, did we nick you for that? So he said, what are you talking about? So I said, well, you went in, and I said, and you couldn't get the video out because it was connected to a plug that was behind the wooden stuff, but you nicked the console. Where's that? And he went, how do you know that, you freak? I haven't been nicked for that, you freak, you freak. And he goes, I don't want to go near it, I don't want to go near it. How do you know that? And I'd seen him commit a burglary from 2 nights ago that we hadn't even arrested him for. And so it was great though, because he's like, I don't want to go near you, freak. I thought, lovely. So then we ended up going back, and I can't remember if it was DNA comparison or fingerprint, and we got him on it eventually. So it was handy, but in the same token, it was very, very difficult. And people started getting word of it. And so they go, oh, can you come round ours and do some readings? So during the day, I was policing. And then in the evening, I was attending psychic parties and doing messages from the spirit world and card readings, palm readings, and everything I'd learned from watching around the family table as a kid. And the more I was doing it, they're going, how do you know that? Oh my God. And then when the spirit people came through, the biggest thing that happened was when I was 21, I'd had a few drinkies. I'm not going to lie. I'd had a few drinkies, and I was at this working man's club up north with some friends. And I started getting visions of a man getting thrown down some stairs. And then I looked at the woman opposite, and it just came out. It just came out. And that's what happens. You have to be really careful, especially when you've had a few drinks, because your inhibitions, you just... And I said to her, the man who you saw get murdered, who you said was an accident, forgives you for that, and you've got to stop beating yourself up. And everybody's like, put their drinks down and gone, what? My partner at the time has gone, what are you talking about? And she went, what? And I went, the man that you saw get pushed down the stairs. I said, you lied to the police about it because you didn't want to get involved because you were too scared. He forgives you because even though he was murdered, the person that murdered him is now up there as well. She lost the plot in the middle of this place. She was so upset. She didn't know how I'd known it. And she'd basically seen an argument take place, and a man had thrown this man down the stairs and killed him, right? And she was so scared that when the police come round and did all their inquiry, she went, oh no, I think he must have fallen. I didn't see a thing. And she'd held that guilt all of her life, that she hadn't, given up this bloke. And the murder victim come through. And so when that happened, it was a massive drama. And she was like, how do you know that? And it freaked her out. It freaked me out. So I'm thinking, oh my God, And my partner at the time said, you need to go and hone this because that can't happen again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so unbelievably, that weekend in our local community centre was a psychic fair, because when you grow up with it, you don't go and do classes, do you? It's just naturally there. Yeah. And so I was just doing it as a little, party thing. God, help, forgive me. The angels, they must just be on Valium. I keep saying that all the time. And I just thought I need to really hone this. I've got responsibility because that was a real murder victim, and she's watched it and it's haunted her whole life. I thought, Jesus, I've got a massive responsibility here. So I thought, well, I'll just go to this psychic fair. And I sat for a reading in front of this woman called Rose. And I sat down and she went like that. And I'm thinking, oh no, I've got a nutter. One of the ones that are a bit rubbish. She's like, oh my God. She went, what are you doing sitting there? So I said, I don't know what you mean. She goes, you come and sit next to me and I'll stop you on your path because you need to learn your trade, madam. And then within the first couple of readings, she's going, go on, then you do it now. And it just went bang from there. So as soon as I knew when to open up, how to channel, when to close them off, when to let them in if it's an emergency, I started to learn how to control them because it was flooding in. So I could fingerprint people and go, no, cut it off, I'm not doing it. No, unless I really wanted to know if they'd done any other crimes. But, you know, and it was hard because on a one murder inquiry, I sat in front of the nephew of the murder victim of this woman, and she basically, she'd come to me right at the beginning of the murder investigation, and I thought, and I was with my partner, my partner in crime, Nick. Nick, pardon the pun. Well, there's two of us, Nick and Nick. And so we thought we literally were going to take him through the paces. We had to interview all the family members. She was basically found burning in a rug in a car. She'd been wrapped up in a rug and was found with this car on fire. And it was horrific. She was a bright, bubbly, beautiful, popular lady, and she adored her husband. And we just thought, what the hell? Who's done this to her? And so we just walked in, and I'm getting it now. How weird is that? I walked in, and all the hairs went up the back of my neck, and it felt like my whole scalp was surrounded in lemonade. And I was like, oh my God. And as I sat down, as soon as I sat down, as I looked at him, my whole third eye just completely stopped any vision and just showed the victim being strangled and him watching it. And then I saw the nephew rolling her up in a rug, carrying her down with the husband to the car, and then driving her and setting her alight. The nephew. And I've gone, can you imagine a detective walking in to an interview state with a solicitor there as well? That was an interest itself. He had a solicitor. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got to talk about the time, the place, where we are, introduce everybody, do the caution, press play and record. All I could see was him wrapping her up. And I'm like, I said, actually, can we just take 5 minutes? I'm so sorry, I've just got popped to the loo. And I'm in the loo doing this, thinking, my God, please, please take it from my head, take it from my head. And I just didn't know what to do. So I came out, and Nick said, are you all right? And I went, can you just take the interview over, do the beginning? I said, because I'm seeing stuff, and I know he is involved in getting rid of his auntie's body. He went, you're absolutely joking me. I said, I'm not. I said, I can't handle this. You're going to have to really help me out, Nick. I can't do it. So we've walked in, and I want to kill him. I want to kill him. How dare, to his auntie. And I'm sitting there, and I think, I hate you, I hate you. And in the end, Nick was getting a bit close to the questions. I couldn't say a thing, I was rubbish. And in the end, he feigned some sort of seizure. And I'm like, thank the Lord, thank the angels, right? Well, I don't believe in the Lord, but it's just the same. And he feigned this seizure, and so we stopped the interview for the doctor to come. And then I said, we can't carry on with this, we need to like look at him as a suspect. And you know, it wasn't just me, but you know, we then found the ticket. It's so stupid that he got a train home, and we found the ticket dumped outside his house. So it was a big team effort. But basically, I then went to another house, and this was a friend of the family. Right, these were friends of the family, and again, it was just, we're so sorry that, you know, Tina's passed. You know, can you fill us with any background, you know, anything at all that can help the inquiry? And when I walked in, the young girl who was 15 walking down the stairs, as I've looked at her, I can see her making out with the husband of the murder victim, and I'm like, oh my God, and she's kissing him, and I know they have an affair. So I'm now standing there trying to just be normal, knowing she's having an affair with the husband, and she's a 15-year-old girl and a friend, long-term friend of the family. So I'm like, so I come out, go back to the station, and I think, and I'm saying to them, it's all well and good, I need to prove it. You need to help me. You need to help me. So then I just knew I had to go into the exhibits room. I got a book out. I don't even know where it's from, but I later learned it was from the van of the husband. And I took it home. I got it. I couldn't take it home, but I photocopied it, and I took it home. And I said to, at the time, I had stepchildren, and I said, "What does this mean here?" I thought I'll ask a teenager, because there was all these weird numbers and writing and stuff. And she said, "Oh, don't you know what that means, Nick?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "That means love, marry, or snog." I went, "Okay." She goes, "But if it's secret, the names would be on different pages." So when I looked, the young girl's name was on one page and the husband's name was on another page. And if you calculated how many vowels and how many consonants they had in their name, it came to a number, it then adds it, and then whatever. And then it's whether you're going to end up snogging them, marrying them, or whatever. And so I thought, I've got it. And the following day, obviously, we spoke in a briefing, and they said, go and try it. You know, we've got no other way of trying to prove a motive here at the moment. And I just got her in the car and said, I threw it on her lap and said, "You're having an affair with him?" "No, I'm not." I went, "Really?" So I said, "Well, there's the love snog married game. So at the end of the day, if you want to lie to a cop and be banged up with him, you crack on." And she went, "Oh God, yeah." And that was it. She said, I have had an affair with him. And I said, I'd never allow him to leave Tina. But he obviously thought, well, if I kill her, then he can be with me. And I went, "Well, did you know that?" She went, "No, I'm just absolutely devastated." And then he said to the nephew, "I'll give you £500 of the life insurance if you go and dump your auntie's body." And he agreed. What the hell is wrong with humans? Yeah. But basically, I got the motive for the murder. And it was incredible. I felt so much relief. And I actually remember taking a flower, just one single flower, to where the car was burned on the island where she was dumped. And I just laid it down by the air and just said, "I hope I've done you justice, Tina." Oh my God, a bit emotional. Yeah. And because she was such a beautiful lady, and it just devastated everybody's life around it. There was a ripple effect. And to actually nail it and get him banged up and the nephew and get them put away for a very, very long time gave me such completion. It gave me, you know, such closure. And so then I started to balance it and use it. And sometimes I'd have to pretend it was an anonymous phone call. You know, I'd get information and pretend someone just phoned up and put the phone down. And I used it quite adequately. But then I got...
The talent you have is incredible, and we've seen so many like films or documentaries or a series on different channels and different streaming platforms of people with your ability that have gone out and found where people have been buried, missing children. It is just extraordinary. I used to work on a channel in the UK live TV, and there was a guy there called Chris Robinson. I always called him Mr. Sunshine. I must get Chris on my channel. And
love him.
Yeah, he's incredible, and he's found missing planes, missing people, and they're extraordinarily gifted, beautiful, and again, like you, just happy and joyful and joyous and passionate for truth, and you know, having come from such a hardcore career to have everything kind of burst open but be so helpful, and then to now be on your, you know, your journey. And there's so much more to say about you, and we don't have that long. We're going to get you on our round table with the rest of the speakers Thursday of this week. Yeah, but I wanted to spend a bit more time because I did a round table with our lady speakers a few weeks ago and you'd missed that one. So I just wanted to just have some one-on-one time with you for others to get to know more about you, you know, because we're getting so close.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, just a few days away. Now you mentioned the word channel. And people are like, oh, that's it. They're so programmed. They hear the word channel, third eye, yoga, crystals, evil, integrated, infiltrated, lies, and deflections from the individual human not growing. You will not grow if you have those plugins. So we're dismantling them and allowing the information. And then you get to decide if you still want to be stuck in a book with a bunch of rules that you don't look either way, and you're not living your life, and you're just sitting there doing F all, fine. But if you are open, which most of you watching this are, now you do not channel spirits and let them come into your body, do you, Nikki Alan?
We just blend. We just talk to them. You know, we don't summon this, because this is the other thing. It makes me sick. And you know what? I've freed so many people from their religions by showing them the truth. Because the stuff, my God, the stuff they come to me, I'm gonna perish, I'm gonna go in hell because I'm sitting with you and you're in league with the devil. Really? So what you can do is you can get up and walk out and stay closed and completely in this rough that apparently your God tells you you're in for coming here, or let's talk about the truth of the matter, that your dad, who loves you desperately, is sitting right next to you right now and has been since he passed and wants to talk to you since he died of a heart attack in December last year. And they go, what? Yeah, so what do you want to do? Do you want to literally say to your dad, F off, because your religion says you're not allowed to, or your belief systems, or what your, you know, your family or your fucking church say? Excuse my French, but it absolutely, because I've been firebombed, I've been threatened, I've had my posters with my throat slit and my eyes gouged out by Christians. I've had when I worked in a shop, all the windows put in, and it was all Christians, and I admitted it, yeah, because you're disgusting. You know, I had them when I used to do all my shows and tour around the UK and Europe. They used to set up camp, and they had flasked the sandwiches and said to people, let us save your soul before you go in there because you're in league with the devil.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, you are just so pathetic. Wow. And it's like, you don't know the devil, love. What are you talking about? You're talking about the pentacle you changed a few hundred years ago that represented growth and unity and strength, and, you know, represented the druids and the pagans. You changed into a stupid symbol that means the devil. Pan, the king of the elements, the elementals, who helps nourish and grow the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, you've turned into a cloven-hoofed weirdo that's supposed to be the devil. Just go away from me. I literally, so boxy crap, I don't want to hear it. So to see people wake up who are in religions, I think, thank you, angels, for letting them wake up and realise that all of this is based on love. You know, you use words like channel, and you use words like psychic, because people obviously don't know what you're talking about. But I don't sit there and have like a vortex booming out of my head and all this rubbish. I'm not going to have them jump in me. You'd be knackered. It's not going to happen. They are there.
It's possession, because you remember possession. Let someone in. They're in. They're going to possess you, and then for the rest of your life, there is a signature frequency that tells every demonic out there, every spirit out there, oh, she's let someone in before, and looky-loo, you are fair game. That's what you want to watch out for. Nikki, I know that you and I can go in for 2 hours here. We don't have that long today, but we will.
Okay, sorry.
No, don't never say sorry. But I'm just trying to say to our beautiful family, our audience out there, that after the conference, that at some point when we've all recovered, Nikki and I will come back on and we will do a much bigger drop on pineal gland. Channeling is, what demons are, how to recognize, better recognize, and the beautiful different ways that you can source yourself, that you can connect any which way. Now, one of the reasons we want to give you more time, you've got 2.5 hours at Gsic, at the Galactic Spiritual Informers Connection. We've given you the whole Friday evening. It's the first year we're doing an actual show, an actual event. And one of the other reasons for that was, because you have so much to teach, to share, to help people stuck in grief truly, safely, lovingly connect with their beloveds. And there's also some that will be in that audience of almost 1,000 people. Some of them will be very like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to sit during the day sessions and watch a medium because I'm still wrestling with my religion. However, now I'm open to extraterrestrials and that. So we eliminated all of that. And then we gave you the whole night, because it's all part of the main anyway, of course, because you are very special. You are an earth angel, so much more. You have so much to bring and gift. You're so real and raw and funny. There's so much more you can tell. The trauma, the tragedies you suffered, the physical illness. You were in bed for 5 years. 5 years.
Best thing ever. No.
Oh, I'm not sure shit in the bed, bless you, is the best thing to you.
But, you know, initially I was suicidal. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I was completely suicidal because the prognosis was I'd never walk again. I'd never get out of bed again. And that's it. And that's the problem, because, again, you've got the people that tell you lies. The doctors will tell you, listen, invest in our pharmaceutical companies, take this crap and put it in your system, and you're never going to walk again. So off you go and just keep popping the pills. And so there's so many places where we need to break these brackets of conditioning and being told what we're supposed to do is these sheep. Oh, okay, then. And that's what I did for a little while. And I was like a zombie. And it wasn't until, you know, I was homeless. I'd lost my home. I'd lost my holiday home. My partner had gone off with 65 grand of my money. I was destitute. I had a couple of dustbin bags and my 2 little babies, my fur babies, my dogs, and that was it. Nothing. And it was only down to the generosity of friends that had me, you know, on their sofas in their spare rooms. And the beauty of it is that I decided at one point that I was not going to kill myself because, one, I'd given up. There's no spirit world. Once you're dead, you're dead. I hated them because I thought no deity, no whoever. Well, it's not a deity, but nobody who has got a higher power or the source would allow me to go through this. So it's all crap. So I got into that mindset, and then I thought, hang on a minute. One day I remember looking at the morphine that sat there. And I looked at my 2 little babies who were on my chest. And I thought, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to kill myself. I've seen what it's like for people to be found. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. So I surrendered naked under the moon. See that? Me, myself and I. That is the story of it all. And I surrendered naked in a cemetery. Seriously, in a cemetery. Because I lived in a cemetery. That's another story in itself. And I just went, okay then, do you know what? I'm going to give you one chance. I'm going to give you a chance to show me that there is a higher power. There is an angel realm. There are people up there, well, not people, you know what I mean, that can bring me back to be an ambassador. You said I'll be an ambassador. There were a few F words, I'm not going to lie. And I said, so you get on and do it. So I went back in, cried my eyes out, got back into bed because I felt so weak that I couldn't even kill myself. And the following morning I woke up and there was a hamper on the doorstep from one of my friends that says, look, I know you don't want to mix with anybody because you're so poorly, but here's a hamper and I'd like to start offering you healing. And then the angels started visiting, and it wasn't me hallucinating or wanting it, because the dogs reacted to every physical presence that came, whether it was a guide, an archangel, family member. My nan told me what drug to go on to get me out of bed. Within a week I was out of bed. And so my story is awakening. I got rid of all my demons that I had in the past. They took me through the most horrific spiritual boot camp of my life. So I had too much going on from my past trauma and abuse, and it was still rattling around there. And I wasn't being true to myself. I was being the best medium, teacher, tutor, healer for everybody else, but not for me. And that's what I was missing. And so during those 5 years, they taught me gratitude, cosmic ordering, to not listen to what humans tell each other, to reach past that, to go to dimensions that have got no ego, they've got no agenda. They're just there saying, connect with us. We will show you, we will teach you, whether that's on an alien frequency, angel frequency, spirit frequency. It doesn't matter. The fact is, the truth is further out there and clearer and closer to us, and everybody tries to suppress it through doctors, pharmaceuticals, belief systems, religion. They're all like, no, we can't let them know about all this. And I'm here to go, oh, really? And that's why I'm trying to bring as many people into my community, both on YouTube. I've only recently started doing all this in the last couple of years, where I felt a need to reach as many people as possible, to show them that you can reconnect with source, because people forget. They just end up, don't they? They forget where they come from. They forget that they've been here 500 times before. They forget that their loved ones are there trying to nudge them, and they've got angels and guides, you know, helping them. They just completely forget, and they go through the worst time of their life. So what I'm doing now is an extension of being a detective, of a family liaison officer. My extension is now helping people through their grief, whether it's losing their home, chronic illness, losing their loved ones, whatever it is. I'm here to bridge that gap, to hold a hand out, to say, listen to me. This is what I've got to give you, to help you. This is what tools I can give you for you to lead a more stronger, more fulfilled human experience. Because if we don't do this, the planet will die. It's as simple as that. People are too, you know, oh yeah, let's just do a bit of plastic here, and then, you know, we'll just collect that and we're all good, and let's just start putting some fines on people that have got these cars that aren't, you know, the right cars, and they're coughing out. Just shut up about that. What we need to be doing is getting consciousness back on a level of humility, love, empathy, caring for the planet, animals, for, you know, everything that we're growing and nurturing. We need to reset and go back, and thank God the Schumann resonance is helping with that. And we need to get us back on an even keel before this place goes boom.
Yeah, well, and again, getting us into back in here, back into the healing, back into the remembering, back into dropping all the systems that we're hardcore programmed with. So crystals are not evil. And anyone that says that, just run away. It is pathetic, because there isn't a thing on the planet that pretty much doesn't have a piece of crystal in it. So what, you're going to put your phone away, your computer, your life-saving machine at the hospital, they're dying. There's crystals in everything. To anyone that tells you crystals are evil, tell them to shut up, because that is evil, and that is darkness, and that is a lie, and I am tired of it. And we are running out of time right now to say anything else to each other, but for goodness sake, tell people in brief, what crystal could they bring with them to the conference to help to keep their energy with them, because there's going to be so many people, so open, so passionate. What can they do to sit, contain their own frequency?
This is my favourite ever. Look at how it gleams. I've healed like tumours with this. This is called selenite, and this is a super. It's known as the angel stone. So if you want to really help accelerate that connection up there, selenite. There are other angel stones like Celeste, but let's keep it simple, selenite. The other one, to completely project your energy and amplify your energy to source, amethyst. That should look, it is purple, amethyst. So if you have it on a pendant, if you just have a rolled stone, put it in your bra, or for men in your pocket of your shirt or whatever. But amethyst and selenite for my particular session will be absolutely perfect. And you know what, if you want something like malachite or moldavite, if you want to kind of embrace the more alien energies that are going on, by all means do that. I can't touch them, it's really weird. I know I've had one incarnation on another planet, but I can't go near them. Anything that's come from a meteorite, hell no, I can't go near it. That's how powerful crystals are.
That's again,
you know?
moldavite will send you on. Wow.
And hang on a minute.
We have to come to a close. We have to come to a close, mate. Go ahead. What? Rose quartz.
Rose quartz, pink stone. I can't believe I haven't set my office up properly yet. Okay. Pink stone, and that will open up your heart chakra and open up your energies to whatever you want to expose yourself to for the weekend. Yeah,
rose quartz is incredible, incredible. Well, thank you for that. Sorry for rushing, guys, but we're doing the best we can. So this is a download of our beautiful Nikki Alan. She'll be there on the Friday night. You will not get to live stream ELENA DANAAN. You will not get to live stream Dr. Michael SALLA. You will not get to live stream Nikki Alan's live performance. So you got to come in person to get it all. Nikki, love you so much. Thank you, darling. See you next week.
You, darling.
To you guys, love you.
See you next week, guys.
Yeah, see you next week. Get your tickets to the dinner and disco, which is a separate ticket from the main one. We're going to shut the door on that because we have to give the hotel your food orders, your menu orders. So God bless. Love you. See you all soon. Thanks.
God bless.
Love you, Nikki. Bye.
Love you.